Hello everybody, NIO here. I'm gonna make a video today about my overall impression of China, and I thought I'd come to the local Chinese temple as a background setting because this will be pretty fitting. Also give you guys an idea how the cultural connection between Thailand and China looks like. China has always had a great influence on Southeast Asia, no doubt, and Thailand is no exception. You see plenty of Chinese culture, particularly in the south, influenced by the Chinese traders who came many generations ago. And there's a lot of Chinese blood flowing through Thailand as well. So it is not unusual to see Chinese culture integrated into Thai daily life, food, prayer, everything. Okay, this will be a good segue to China now. All right, what's my overall impression of China after staying there exactly 30 days? So first of all, let me double check my background. Everything's good. I like the mountain, so I'm gonna do the mountain here, like this. Yeah, this will be good. From time to time, there may be a car driving by, or the lack of cars. This is actually the main road on the beachfront, and if there's barely any cars driving by, you can imagine how empty is the town right now. And I'm an introvert. I made videos before about me being introvert and need to recharge. 30 days in China exhausted all my energy. You can imagine every day dealing with brand new people, speaking Chinese, which I didn't do for many years. And on top of that, learnings and observing, and at the same time opening up relationships with brand new people. It is not easy on me, but I think I succeeded in what I wanted to do. First of all, I believe I have gotten a pretty good overview of the Chinese electric car market. I believe I've done it better than anybody else in 30 days. I had only 30 days and I had no prior arrangement of anything. It was literally arriving on the spot and then start going places without any preparation. I didn't even have a phone that functioned at the beginning. The first video you watched me from China was actually basically on the 4th day or the 5th day after arrival. I desperately tried to upload my first few videos and it didn't work at all. And this segues into the first thing about China I don't like, is the fact that the internet is completely blocked off. Whatever you have in China related to so-called internet is not real internet. The fact you can watch me is a jailable offense in China. Let's just say this. Imagine in China you're watching YouTube, that is jailable offense. Yeah, you are subverting the state or subverting the interests of the state. So therefore, I couldn't have direct communication with you guys in China. I only through indirect middlemen, let's call it that way, through Hong Kong and other cities, but not directly through China. That's all I can say. Okay, that's the one thing I don't like, but I tell you what I did like. I did like the fact that the people are amazing. Chinese people are absolutely amazing. Much more cultured than I remembered. Sometimes you watch those videos about China on YouTube and you give you a bad vibes because those things get clicks. The fact is that bashing China is a trendy thing. And if you bash China long and hard enough, people are going to give you the likes and clicks and so on. So it doesn't really matter if it's true or not true. If you bash China, get clicks, that's a self-reinforcing loop here. The same thing happens in reverse in China too. In China, you can't bash China. Instead, you have to say great things about China. So the more you great things to say about China, the more clicks and likes you get. So basically, Chinese internet and outside China internet is the polar opposite of each other. If you only have access to one, you think that China, if you are inside China, you think it is the greatest country on planet Earth, no one else coming close. And it's absolutely amazing. You shouldn't be anywhere else. There's no better place in the world. That is not true. There's always something else, somewhere else, something is better than China. Not in everything, some of them, yeah, definitely. For example, here, I can openly declare Southern Thailand air is better than China. I mean, dispute me and put me to jail for this. This is reality. I can breathe. In China, I got sick from AQI 282. I think the record was 282 for me. And I got pretty sick. And I still made videos, but I got pretty sick from the air. And I came here to recover, of course. Yeah, if anyone's pro-China and blindly pro-China, you can fight me on the air quality. Yeah, fight me on that if you want to. On the other hand, I will fight anybody who say China is a bad country. It's not. So for people who are just bashing China from the outside, I can tell you sincerely, you have an agenda, obviously, for whatever reason, you get paid for it. Just like people who bash NIO stocks on my channel. They come into the comment section. In fact, the first people comment is usually the bashers. Why? Because they got paid for it. They have no other thing to do. Or maybe they're just automatic bots that have been aimed at my channel. That's also possible. I treat them equally with respect and thank them for engagement. That's about it. So, back to Chinese. What I really loved about China was the fact that everything is incredibly modern, everything is extremely well thought out, and the construction quality is way beyond my expectation. You watch a lot of video about tofu construction and all the things. You touch anything, everything falls apart. I mean, here's the temple. I'm touching the dragon right now. The dragon is not falling apart, but I'm in Thailand, so what do I know, right? Honestly, this is something I can tell you sincerely based on my observation. Thai construction quality is 10 times worse than China. I've seen plenty of very bad construction here. I wouldn't buy property here easily, but in China, I think the right properties can be bought. And you can, if you are Chinese, it actually makes sense to buy properties there. Depends on what's your long-term goal. What else do I like about China? Food. People always talk about Chinese food, right? So I give you a ready admission. Despite me partially being Chinese, ethnically speaking, it is never my favorite food. Yeah, Chinese food has never been my favorite food. I won't go into detail why, but let's just say when I'm outside China, I virtually never eat Chinese food. But this time when I was in China, I virtually ate nothing but Chinese food. I think I can't even remember I ate anything. I didn't eat a single time at McDonald's, not a single time at KFC, despite the popularity and accessibility. But the fact is that the local Chinese food, even the fast food Chinese food, is amazing quality, absolutely amazing quality. Because of that, it was no reason for me to eat anything else. It's a completely rational choice. Also, it was quite a culinary adventure, tasting different food that you can't have anywhere else outside China. That was pretty amazing. What else did I like about it? The fact that the modern infrastructure in China is probably world-class among all cities I've visited. The metro system in Wuhan is absolutely world-class. I'm thinking very hard about it. Which city has a better metro system, more efficient, more cost-efficient as well? The closest thing I can think of is Tokyo. Tokyo has a fantastic metro system. However, Tokyo has one problem. They have like 5 different or 7 different companies running the system, so you have to buy tickets across all different networks. If you are not a local, if you're local, different story. But, and of course, cost is very high. Riding around in Japan, trains can be very expensive, particularly high-speed trains. In China, the local metro system that covers 10 million people was incredibly good value for money, very, very cheap. You're riding for just a couple, like less than $1. Yeah, one ride is usually between 40 cents to 60 cents. And when it gets worse, it's $1 US. So, and it gets you pretty far, really far. And the cleanliness is amazing, and the safety is beyond crazy. I mean, every time you pass by the entry point, any entry point, you're being checked like a airport security check. They do X-ray on you, plus they will check the liquids you carry. That's the one thing I've never seen anywhere else in the world. To check your liquids, they have 2 methods. Usually you surrender the bottle with the liquid, they do a scan. I don't know what they're scanning. And the second test is far more interesting, and I've never seen anybody else implementing it. They just ask you to take a zip. They just ask you to open the bottle, take a zip. So in theory, you can smuggle liquid cocaine in low quantity. You just get high. So that was quite funny. So either way, they actually take the security very seriously in China. Everywhere is camera. That's another thing that I was far under I do like, actually. I thought I wouldn't like it. There's so many cameras everywhere. But I tell you what, after I experienced the country for 30 days, I like the fact there are cameras everywhere. Why? Because it made me feel incredibly safe. I don't think I've ever felt safer anywhere else in the world than in this metro Chinese city. Because there's no one even close to thinking about doing anything to you. Because it doesn't matter which direction you turn, there's like 20 cameras pointing at you. There's just no way you can get away with anything in China. So, therefore, I think from a general public perspective, particularly from female population perspective, having so many cameras is actually quite assuring, and it keeps people feeling safe. And what else? Things I don't like. I go back to the things I don't like about China again. The fact that I couldn't see anyone who is pregnant, I don't like, because it's obvious that they are facing an enormous population collapse. It is beyond obvious. You got to be blind not to see it. You got to be blind not to see it. So basically, there is a population number cutoff around 22, 23. Basically, up to 22, 23. You see people. So below 22, 23, the population drop off, but below 14 or 12, there's none. There's basically nothing. The ratio, every time I do the scan, because the metro system in China is very transparent, it's a very long train with no interruptions. If you stand in the middle, you look left, you look right, you see the whole train with hundreds of people, right? Then you just do a mental math. How many children do you see? What's the ratio between young kids versus adults versus elderly? That's my demographic measurements. Taking the metro. Every day I take 10, 15 times the metro, and I do this measurement every time I get into every single train. Guess what? No kids. Virtually no kids. In the entire train, few hundred people, you see 1, 2. That's it. Sometimes 0. Very often it's absolutely 0. The younger they get, the less they are. So, and virtually no pregnant women. I saw 1 pregnant woman over the entire period of 30 days. Yeah. And now comes to another thing what they don't have is foreigners. China does not have any foreigners right now whatsoever. 0 foreigners. Okay, this is an advertising truck driving by. Let it go through first. It's a Thai thing. Yeah, I'm grateful that they are not that loud. This one is not that loud. Yeah. So, there are no foreigners in China right now. I'm here in a tiny town in Thailand, Project Kirikan. You can see there's nobody here around me. Yet, in 3 days, I met more foreigners here than my entire 30 days in China. That tells you all you need to know. Yeah, way more. There are way more foreigners here than foreigners in the entire city of Wuhan, of 10 million people I traveled through for 30 days, non-stop. There are no foreigners in China. Where did they go? They probably got scared away by the restriction. Now with the additional restriction of financial issues, they're all gone. None. There's 0 left. 0. Grand total of 0. What does this mean for me as an investor? On one hand, intuition tells you don't come here because it means if no one else comes here, there must be something wrong with this place, therefore you shouldn't come here too. That's the natural intuition. However, as a long-term investor of 30 plus years doing this thing, going to places where nobody goes, I learned one thing, is when the town is empty, there are the best bargains to be had. Wherever you look, there's bargain. And as an investor, you want to look for bargains. There's a reason why right now NIO shares is at $4 or $3.80 or whatever the number you name it. Because it reflects the reality there's no one wanting to be in China. No one wants to invest in China. Nobody wants anything to do with China. But I promise you, I absolutely promise you, China has all the infrastructure ready for recovery. It is just a natural movement for the next move for Chinese to go internal consumption model. Instead of export, internal consumption. China has all the infrastructure ready to go. The trains will move the people, the highways to drive the cars, the infrastructure for telecommunication where people get instantaneously motivated with the sale code, and then you rush to one place to another place. Yeah. My informant in China just told me that there was a shopping center special And then suddenly the shopping center overwhelmed because whole of China went to that one shopping center to grab bargain. That's an example. And I've seen plenty of those things happening. All right. To conclude, was the 30 days Chinese visit worth it? I tell you, it was the best trip of my life. The best trip of my life, no exaggeration. If there's one country in the world right now that's undervalued, where you should go as an investor, it will be China. If there's one country you should be visiting right now as a tourist, it is China. If there's one country right now you should have less prejudice against, it should be China. That's all I can say. So for those who are watching me, if you have the means of the time and money, if you can spare the time and money, go to China right now. It doesn't matter which location you choose. Go to any city you want. Go to any place you want. I'm not going to give you any guidelines. There are plenty of people making videos about that. Go to China right now, and if you had enough China, fly over to Thailand. This is only 3 hours flight away. So from the worst air in my life to the best air, 3 hours flight, and the flight costs next to nothing. And you just have to take care of the immigration, which is not that easy, to be honest. But for foreigners, for certain countries, it's very, very easy. So for me, German passport holder, I didn't have to prepare anything. I just show up at the airport. They didn't even ask too many questions. And then stamp. They let you in, tell you when you got in. They don't even tell you when you need to get out, unlike here in Thailand. In Thai stamp, they tell you when you got in and when you should get out. In Chinese passport stamp, they only tell you when you got in, which airport, and then when you get out is up to you. But if you leave too late, like say after the 30 days, you get fined, and if you get worse, then you go to jail. So don't do it. So make sure you stay within the legal limit. Then everything will be fine. Yeah, that's what I can say. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this very much, give me a comment as well. And if you want to hear more about the Chinese overall impression, I can make more in detail videos than this. And just do let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day. And I really hope I don't get a copyright strike from this music in the background. I don't think so. I don't believe this is copyrighted music. And let's pray for $100 NIO shares. 1 bao, $100 NIO share, please. 2 bao, $100 NIO shares, please. 3 baos, $100 NIO shares, please. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.